used in the indoor experiments. The experiments, we were supposed to find out whether this protein works. With it, we immunized cattle, and then we attached ticks on them. For those of you who are going to receive these books, you will see some of the diagrams or photographs of these ticks and the cattle in the experiment. I wish also to thank him because he allowed us to use this land at Ngoma. We are going to carry out a clinical trial. We also wish to thank him because he recommended to us to work with the private sector, Alphasan, manufacturers that are going to help us to produce this vaccine so that it can be commercialized. Therefore, I wish to introduce the product that we are working on. Immunizing cattle, it is a tool, it is already a tool which can be used to protect our cattle against the ticks and the tick-borne diseases. We all know that livestock plays a very strong role in the development, in the reduction of poverty for the cattle keepers, and also it is money in the bank for the household, because when one has livestock, it means that he can sell that animal later to get capital. Therefore, we know that in order to improve our livestock has, it is littered with diseases. That means among the many diseases that cause or that prevent the improvement of cattle are the tick-borne diseases. You all know that we have ticks. In Uganda, we have 3 different types of ticks. We have those ticks we call the one-horse tick. These are the blue ticks. These ticks, it means that from the time it attaches on the animal, it remains on the animal until it lays the eggs. The eggs hatch, the eggs molt, the larvae molt into nymphs, the nymphs molt into adults on one host. Then we also have the other ticks we call the 3-host ticks. These ticks are normally found around the ears and around the eyes. We call them the brown ear tick. These ticks are notorious for causing a disease known as Makebe or East Coast fever. This disease, if you have improved animals, that means the exotics or the crosses, you are likely to end up with 100% mortality, deaths, which means that unless we control this disease, we will not be able to improve the cattle so that we get more milk, or we get more beef, or we are able to sell beef outside. Therefore, with this product, we are working on these ticks. That means the idea of immunizing animals using ticky proteins or tick tissues is not new. It has been around. People notice that if animals are bitten by ticks, eventually they develop resistance. Therefore, scientists decided to look for these proteins which are responsible for the protection or for the animals to resist against ticks. And during so that means that one time scientists in Australia, they ticks, their eggs were not able to hatch into larvae, and the larvae were not able to molt into nymphs. The nymphs also did not molt into adults. Therefore, with the time, you had a reduction in the tick population. Therefore, in 1994, the first commercial vaccine against ticks was registered in Australia. However, this vaccine is against the ticks that are found in Australia. Whereas for us, we have ticks which are different. That's why you find that we could have just imported this vaccine. However, it does not work very well with our ticks. As I told you, we have 3 different types of ticks. That means because there is already this vaccine was produced in Australia by Hoist. However, with the time, this Hoist was sold, and the company that bought Hoist, Intervet, eventually ended up not going forward with this vaccine. Therefore, in Australia, this vaccine is not there. But in Cuba, they took up this protein and they produced a commercial vaccine, which is Gavac. Now, in Gavac and in Latin America, they have used this vaccine for the past 30 years, and it has worked for them. And they have found that you can reduce the population of ticks by 80%, and you can reduce the acaricide application by 60%, which means if we adapt this technology, we can be able to reduce the tick population. We shall be able to reduce the application of acaricides, and we shall be able to reduce the incidence of the diseases which these ticks carry. Because this vaccine, it can block the transmission of some of these pathogens to the animal. Therefore, because of that, scientists in Africa, in other words, scientists in Uganda, we decided to look into our ticks, to look for a similar protein like that one that is found in Gavac. And with that, we have been able to come up with proteins that we can use here to develop an anti-tick vaccine. And that's what we have done. This process did not start yesterday. We started in 2005 by looking into our ticks, looking for the gene that is what they call Ndaga Muntu, or maybe Ndaga tick. So we looked for this Ndaga tick in the local ticks. And then, because if you want to immunize using these proteins, it means if you use the proteins that are in the tick, it means you have to crush very many ticks just to get this tiny little protein. So we use biotechnology. We use the process, which I'm very sure sometimes most people think it is genetically modified technology. But this technology, they modify bacteria to carry this gene. so that we can express and get more of these proteins and be able to immunize our animals. Therefore, that's what we have done. With the technology, we looked for these genes, and they have been put into modified bacteria and therefore modified yeast. And in the yeast, now we use the yeast system to produce more proteins, so that we use those proteins and we formulate them with adjuvants, and we use that as the anti-tick vaccine, and we immunize our animals. We have carried out a number of experiments. We used the government farms in Ruhengeri, and we immunized like 30 cows, and we found that this protein does protect our animals from the ticks. We found that some ticks did not feed for a very long time. We found that some ticks died without laying eggs. And we found that some eggs did not hatch. And we found that some of these developmental stages, like larvae and nymphs, also failed to molt, which you are going to see in those ticks, in that report which you have got in front of you. Therefore, we are very happy for the support that has been given to us, and we are very happy for His Excellence to have recommended Alpha Sun, because with Alpha Sun, we shall be able to catapult. In other words, we shall be able to move forward and be able to commercialize this product. If given the support, therefore it is our prayer that we get more support, so that we can now test this product on more animals in different regions and in different farming systems, so that we can be able to answer any question. But this product is safe because we have tested it in animals and does not cause any disease. This product, the people will not be affected because they ask us, because it is produced in a modified organism. No, the human beings will not be affected if they eat the meat. And this product is definitely works in such a way that if a tick feeds on an immunized animal, the animal will have produced antibodies or soldiers. So that means this tick will take in the soldiers with its blood. So what happens when the soldiers get into the stomach of the tick, the soldiers now will start attacking the protein within the tick. That means the blood, this blood which it has eaten, the intestines will have got holes, and so it will what? It will go into the tissues. This tick is likely to die. And it will also affect the ovaries or the reproductive system. That means this tick may not produce enough eggs. And then the eggs produced, because these are antibodies, they work during the active time of the tick, and they also work during the resting period of molting. That means the antibodies are working throughout the whole life cycle of the tick, which means the population, with the time, the population will be reduced, and acaricide usage also will be reduced, and the disease incidence also will be reduced. And we know that we want to thank, because among the many items, we have been able to buy equipment and we have been able, some of the equipment has come, some of the equipment is still on the way. But we are able, now we shall be able to go into production to upscale so that we can produce many doses which we shall use to immunize. However, what we have is a mini plant. In order to be able to satisfy the demand of 15 million in Uganda and maybe outside, we shall need a bigger plant, because the support that has been given to us, we have just been able to purchase a smaller plant, a smaller machine, which is able to produce like 80,000 doses. But you know, we have 15 million cows, which means we pray that we get more support so that we can produce a bigger reactor, which will be able to produce like 15 million doses, which will be able to satisfy the market, not only in Uganda, but also in the rest of the African countries where these sticks are found. With this, we know that the expense will be, if we produced with the Alpha-Sun, a dose, we could sell it at 4,000 per dose, which I think will be very cheap for the farmer, because the costs now, it is like 157 billion per year. And yet here, they will be able maybe to have like 100,000 per year, which I think will be a reduction in the costs, so it is our prayer that we request His Excellency to take us to the unity. How do you say? To give us a unit, or to put us into our unit, because right now we depend on supplementaries, which because of their supplementaries, we end up, money ends up delaying, because now we got the money in 2019, but we have just got it in 2021. That means a whole year we have not been able to carry out our program. Therefore, we wish that he allocates us a unit which will filter us into the budget. And with that, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, honorable MPs, if there is any question, we are available. Thank you very much for listening to me. Do they have a question? Do they have a question?
No. Do you have anything to add?
Yes, no, do they have a question?
Yes, something to add. You have something to add? Yes, something to add.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Honorable members of Parliament, some of you are brand new. We thank God for the success. We look forward to developing our country with you at the helm. Your Excellency, these scientists from Makerere, when you came, you remember very well, Your Excellency, when you came to Alpha-Sun to launch it on 1st November 2018, you directed that you go and work with Professor Kawa. When we took it up immediately, and we found they have a fantastic product. We were already prospecting for the product in Holland, but we found that that product could not even come close to what they have done, because they have domesticated the technology and customized it as she has described it to our need. Your Excellency, one thing I've found out when we were signing the MOU with Makerere University is that most of these scientific innovations end up at the shelf. Some of them are fantastic, And most of them, I would dare say they are fantastic, but many of them are exported out of the country, and big companies in Europe take them up and send these drugs to us as if they didn't originate from here. So what I promise you, Your Excellency, on behalf of my board and Alpha Sun, is that we are going to make this innovation sustainable, because they have already told you, thank you, they have told you that they can only produce 80,000. So all we are giving them is the technology we have kusakad, sorry to borrow the word by Your Excellency, we have kusakad the technology from the Netherlands. To do the clinical trials. The big starts there. Your Excellency,
No form of identification has been specified by URA as mandatory for issuance of an e-invoice or e-receipt. In case of a sale to a final consumer, the buyer is required to provide any of the following: name, contact, taxpayer identification number, TIN or national identification number.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Experience 100% 4G speeds across Uganda with the Airtel 4G Pocket Wi-Fi, available at 123,000 shillings only. It comes with 15 GB free for 1 month. Visit the nearest Airtel shop, device selling shop or Airtel online shop. www.airtel.co.ug/broadband-discover. Airtel, the smartphone network.
2020 was the year the tourism sector got disconnected. But this year, we reconnect. To leads, growth, to industry experts, to wider markets, to untapped potential. Be part of the first ever virtual Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo and engage with industry experts from around the world. Find out how you can grow your leads, put your tourism business back on the map, and a whole lot more. Sign up for free at www.poate.co.ug/register and reconnect with your world. The Pearl of Africa Tourism Tourism Expo runs from the 27th to the 29th of April 2021 and is proudly brought to you by Uganda Tourism Board.
If you want to benefit from the cabbage, you can decide to go for the dry season planting or the wet season planting. Those are key things to look at. But the other bit is about the yield and the maturity period.
Agriculture has been for years forming the backbone of Uganda's economy, contributing approximately 37% of local growth, with 80% of the population practicing agriculture.
Green tea is different from black tea. Green tea does not go through the fermentation process of the factory, meaning that it has retained all the medicinal values in it.
This is a good leaf for plucking.
When it is already marked, so like it has the marks, it is very easy for a farmer to just follow those markings and then drop it.
Join us every Wednesday as we showcase comprehended and well-researched episodes on agriculture, on the new innovations, planting, harvesting, modern technologies, and more you would like to know in the farming field.
The farmers, they no longer bring more of comb honey.
So after extracting the honey from the frames, then they are removed and placed back in a super.
Farm Matters, a program where all your farming needs are addressed.
Solution to farmers for what they need. What farmers need is income in their pocket, isn't it? It's about money in the pocket.
This program has helped me to improve farming skills. Keep watching Farm Matters at UBC.
Are you money wiser? As we seek to improve our knowledge on the understanding of money matters, before any money leaves your life, ask yourself, am I money wiser?
The Be Money Wiser talk show is here to give you a platform to share your real-life financial experiences to be able to unlearn, relearn, and transform your lives.
I took a loan. I invested the money and it disappeared.
We need to decipher and understand whether forex trading is indeed so risky or manageably risky for all of us to invest in.
Capital is
You can have trust with your clients, trust them anyhow that you can, as long as they are paying in cash.
Let's be money wiser.
Ideology and leadership. To appreciate and salute the leaders of our revolution for your revolution visionary, valiant and committed leadership to the people of Uganda in their struggles against dictatorship and backwardness, in promoting democratic principles, practices and transformative leadership over the 5 decades. To affirm your commitment in supporting and promoting the principles of the NRM, which include patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and democracy in securing strategic security. Your Excellency, to promote our ideological understanding, inculcate the same values to the NRM structures and leaders, our constituents and the people of Uganda, to expedite legislation for the operationalization of national service for the youth in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution, to exercise our legislative powers in supporting you in checking government excesses and technocrats that sabotage government programs or are proven to be falling short of their expectations, to recommend ideological orientation at NALI for the leaders at local government, that is the RDCs, CAOs, LC5s, and district speakers, to recommend for
omuntu yenna ateewandiisanga kusasula musolo gwa VAT okuyita mu nkola eyakyeyagalire asobola okukozesa e-freeze okugaba e-receipt okusobola okunyumirwa ku migaso gy'enkola eno omuli enkuuma y'ebitabo ennungi okwanguyizibwa mu kuddizibwa ku ssente z'osasula ng'omusolo okugerekebwa omusolo omusaamusaamu ssaako n'ebirala bingi. Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Development, mineral, petroleum development, service provision, and human capital development. Your Excellency, to support you to urgently hold a conference of indigenous fishermen in guiding them to engage in acceptable, viable, and profitable fishing practices as a venue to finding lasting solutions of the vagaries affecting the fishing industry and the fishing communities. Under the economy still, lastly, to fully support frugality and review of expensive foreign travel by government officials and MPs as a means of cutting down government expenditure to save much needed funds that can be diverted to other development areas. Your Excellency, the third resolution we looked at was the works and the transport sector. To support the construction of roads in eastern region of the DRC as part of the bilateral cooperation and expansion of the regional markets between Uganda and the DRC and any other programs that promote East African integration. To improve the inter-district roads to facilitate trade and interaction within the regions. Your Excellency, the fourth resolution we looked at was the energy and mineral development sector. To fully support government in the promotion and development of alternative energy sources like nuclear, solar energy, in lowering the cost of electricity to enhance Uganda industrial development. To fully support the further exploitation and development of the country's vast natural resources while ensuring implementation of the local content. Your Excellency, the fifth resolution we looked at was the education and the sports sector. To fully support government in the implementation of free education by enforcing the complete elimination of all manners of fees. To urge government to provide a minimally decent meal, possibly porridge, half a liter of milk, and an egg per learner, as a means of mitigating absenteeism and the attendant school dropout rates that can continue to curtail government development goals in the sector. Your Excellency, the sixth resolution we looked at was to fully support effective education of the vision, mission, principles, and government achievements and programs of the NRM basing on factual information while desisting from the subterranean talk, divisive and cheap politics. To fully support the utilization of media platforms that cover the entire country in communicating government policy and programs, we commit to travel to our constituencies to communicate to our constituents at least once a month using the said platforms in coordination with the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology and National Guidance and other supportive structures like RDCs. To fully support multi-skill engagements in holistically embracing the media, including but not limiting to digital platforms that must be sparingly used, especially in one's free time. Your Excellency, the seventh resolution we looked at was the NRM Manifesto 2021 to 2026. To fully support the robust implementation of the provisions of the manifesto and the mobilization of our communities in raising their household incomes as the basis of socio-economic transformation for wealth and job creation. To promote the development of industries engaged in profitable commercial agriculture and value addition as a means to providing local markets for our produce and products, thus supporting the country's economic development. Your Excellency, the eighth resolution we looked at was to land matters, to strongly support you in effecting radical land reforms and to strongly support the implementation of the recommendations of the Land Commission as adopted by the government. The ninth resolution we looked at was the health sector. To continue to support you, Your Excellency, in your continued efforts in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. To hail and warmly appreciate our medical workers who have been at the front line of the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Your Excellency, to hail and strongly support our valiant Ugandan scientists who have been working around the clock in developing a vaccine against COVID-19, the diagnostics and treatment of the disease. To promote and strengthen physical education and dietary modifications in order to emphasize preventative health to avoid lifestyle diseases. Lastly, Your Excellency, we looked at the parish model to support the implementation and operationalization of the parish model as a strategy to attain improved food security and household income. To sensitize our people in appreciating the need to differentiate the distinction between intensive and extensive farming to guide them in making informed decisions. Sir, this ends the resolution of the debate. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Can we clap for Honorable Juliet for the wonderful presentation of the resolution?
Can we clap for Honorable Odu? Asante sana. Let's also clap for the Secretariat that is headed by Mr. Othien Otoy. Can you stand up? Because they've been able to capture our minds. Can we clap for our staff? Asante sana. Your Excellency and leaders gathered here as politicians, there is one that didn't please the majority, and there was no that we listened to. Your Excellency, I think, I know time is not on our side, but we should live here with an agreed position as a team, as leaders. So, Your Excellency, that is resolution number 2F under economy, to fully support frugality and the review of expensive foreign travel by government officials and members of parliament as a means to cutting down government expenditure to save much more needed funds that can be diverted to other developmental areas. Your Excellency, this we got it from whenever you'd address us, you'd bring it out clearly. And I think we should have 5 minutes to have this discussion so that we live with an agreed position. Is there another issue that you think we should discuss or that we had left out, members? It's only this that we should discuss. Okay. Members, before you suggest to delete or not, I want you to remember that we are, since March 2020, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni closed the schools and went on and closed even the airport. No planes were coming in, no planes were going out. And the money that was meant for those activities was used by the different institutions in the government to strengthen areas that were priorities but what were falling under unfunded priorities. So, Your Excellency, sir, I would request that, with your permission, sir, members, our national chairman is coming to give us his comment. Thank you, sir.
Today is a day for eating. And relaxation. And resolve this issue for once and for all. Because this exchange will not be a joking exchange. But now this is there for eating. So let's remove that part. We shall sort it out in the caucus. And if not in the caucus, referendum for the whole country. Okay? The Wanyankore say, and once you agree, you don't have to shout calling one another. So we can remove it now, not to disturb our digestion. But when we are in the caucus, we shall discuss it. And if necessary, put it to a referendum. What do you think about that? We can discuss in the caucus. Rubanga Tie.
So, honorable members, we have agreed we delete that resolution 2F for now. No, not for now. We are deleting it and it's not part of the document. So, those in favor say aye. To the contrary, no. So the ayes have it. Your Excellency, we are going to delete it. No. We have to adopt resolutions, not with the deferred issues. It is deleted, not deferred. Members, let's agree. We are deleting it, not deferring it. So in the caucus, when the discussion comes, it will be a substantive matter and it will be a new matter in the caucus, in the new caucus for discussion. Thank you so much. DSG, come and move us to the next step. Thank you, members.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for caring about our digestive system. It was already becoming a problem, I could hear. But thank you so much for helping our system to settle. But of course, we need to officially move a motion to adopt these resolutions minus as amended. And I would like to request Honorable Grace, the National MP for PWD, to come and move the motion for the adoption of the resolution as amended. And then Honorable Flav Nyangole Enoch, who are going to second, and then we move to the final stage of the afternoon. Today I was very careful because I was picking members who have never come to the microphone ever since we reported for the retreat. Honorable Grace is going to move the motion to adopt the resolution, and then Honorable Nyangole and Honorable Flavia, please come forward.
No, I can stand. Your Excellencies, the President of Uganda, our Mama, the First Lady, SEC members here present, my fellow members of Parliament-elect, protocol observed. I am called Honorable Achan Joyce O'Kane, a member of Parliament-elect representing people with disabilities in the 146 districts of Uganda. I've also been a councillor representing people with disabilities for 20 years here in Kampala. Your Excellency, sir, a lot of presentations on different topics were given to us in Nali. A lot of brainstorming and discussion were carried on. Some of these resolutions that were read here were derived from those discussions. Your Excellency, with the authority given to me by my voters, I now want to move a motion that these resolutions should be adopted with the amendment therein. Thank you.
Your Excellency, I am Kabahenda Flavia Rabhoro, representing the people of Chegegwa district as the woman MP-elect. Your Excellency, I stand here to second the motion as amended and be taken as the resolutions of Chankwanzi Retreat of 2021. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the First Lady, Mnyongore Enoch, representing Nakaseke North, where we are now. Your Excellency and Mama, the Prime Minister, the Republic of Uganda, the Secretary General, I also rise to second the motion as amended, Your Excellency. But because we are here, Your Excellency, I would like to chip in with your permission that in Ngoma here, Nakaseke North, we want to welcome the initiative of anti-tick development, vaccine development. The initiative has been welcomed by Nakaseke people and the entire communities of cattle keeping. Thank you so much for that initiative. Then too, as you are aware, the road from Ruwero to where we are in Buriamusenyi to Masindi has been in manifestos of different political terms. Your Excellency, you know how we are being faced with the noise of our colleagues in the South. Your Excellency would like to support us to speed up the process of this road. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and we had to give him that 1 minute since he's the host. And thank you so much, Honorable Enoch, Honorable Flavia, and Honorable Joyce, and the Honorable Juliet Lodu. We are now moving to the final. The Right Honorable Deputy Speaker is guiding me. I'm a Juakali speaker. That I have not put the question. May those in favor of the retreat motion as amended say aye, to the contrary, no. The aye. You say it. I wanted you to say it yourself. Thank you. Now we are moving to the last part of our afternoon, the official closure of the retreat. We're only having 3 short speeches, and we invite the President to speak to us and close the retreat. I would like to invite the Director Nali to come and give us his brief remarks, and then I'll invite the Right Honorable Secretary General and the Right Honorable Prime Minister to invite the President. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF and Chairman of the NRM, the First Lady, Right Honorable Prime Minister, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished ladies and gentlemen in your various capacities, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Members of Parliament-elect, good afternoon. Your Excellency, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the theme of this year's retreat was ideological orientation for socio-economic transformation. As you have explained to us many times, sir, and as the retreat discovered, politics can be practiced at 2 levels. The activist level, that one encompassing political action, mobilization, campaigns, elections, choices of leaders, political parties, and so on. The purpose of this level really is to make people support you, and its objective is to win over as many people as possible. There is, however, a second deeper level, the one on which the first one is based. And at this level, we ask ourselves the question, what do we support and why? What do the people support when you mobilize them, and why? Your Excellency, this is the ideological level. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is the question we have been addressing, the basis on which the people of Uganda gave you their overwhelming mandate. What elements, what principles, what ideas, what end state, what action plan did they support? In the first week, these questions were addressed from a fundamental standpoint. What in mathematics we call the basic axioms, the foundations on which theories and ideas are built. Thank you, sir, for giving us at NALI the opportunities to contribute to this process. In the second and third weeks, sir, this knowledge was applied in a concrete way to the situation of Uganda, the problems and the aspirations of the people. Thank you, sir, for illuminating your illuminating interventions, your lectures, and all the written materials that you made available. Your Excellency, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, from the NALI standpoint, I can report that all the objectives were achieved. The members are not the same people. These members are not the same people who came to NALI and now have a harmonized, clear understanding of what they support and why they support it. They are thus, I hope, in a good position to provide guidance to their followers on the journey for socio-economic transformation. No longer will they also join in lamentation, but they will use the tools and ideological weapons to guide their people and offer solutions to their problems. Finally, Your Excellency, allow me to thank you, sir, for according NALI the honor of facilitating the retreat. This is an honor for us because in the process we have gained a lot of knowledge. But at another level, sir, thank you for your confidence in our ability. You elevated me to Major General, my deputy full colonel, and my head of faculty to Lieutenant Colonel. We pledge to continue working diligently, in fact, to double our efforts. As someone once said, the worth of a person is measured by the causes he or she believes in and by the efforts he exerts towards their fulfillment. We pledge our total commitment and loyalty to the cause of socio-economic transformation and all our labor and effort to the execution of our duties. Thank you very much, sir, for God of my country.
Thank you, Director. Can we give another round of applause to the Director, please? Asante sana. Thank you so much for your good remarks, and we are grateful that we live to your expectations. The last 3 weeks were really wonderful. We pledge to continue education with all the good skills and ideas you gave us while at the Institute. I would like now to take the opportunity to invite the Right Honorable Secretary General to come and address us, and request her also to invite the Right Honorable Prime Minister, who will speak to us and invite the President. Thank you so much.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda and President-elect, National Chairman of NRM, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and our mother, Mama Janet Museveni, the Minister of Education and Sports, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Prime Minister, members of the Central Executive Committee, ministers present, MPs elect, my colleagues, staff members at the Secretariat, State House, Prime Minister's Office, media, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this opportunity in a special way to congratulate everybody who has made this retreat a success. Asante sana. Your Excellency, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for the guidance you gave us in coming up with beginning with the theme, ideological orientation for socio-economic transformation. And most of our topics were centered around ideology of the party in relation to a human being, which is the base of all the 5 principles of our party. Participants, our principles are participants, what are our principles of NRM? Patriotism, Pan-Africanism. I didn't hear that one properly. Socio-economic transformation and democracy. Your Excellency, I'm a teacher by profession. That is an evaluation of the work that has been done by the people who have been in Inari as a team. Your Excellency, I want to thank you for facilitating, but most importantly, for according us time for 21 days. You are the national chairman of NRM, but you are the president of this country. So you accorded us state time. Asante sana. Your Excellency, people out there, majority of them envy these who have been with you because it is rare for a head of state to accord a team all of that time. Asante sana. I want to thank our mother. In addition to according us time, you shared with us your personal experience under the paper of servant leadership in socio-economic transformation. Thank you, asante sana. I want to take this opportunity to thank the Right Honorable Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, the Prime Minister of Uganda. He has been with us day and night, making sure everything goes on well. Thank you, sir. Asante sana. I want to thank the members of the Central Executive Committee. You have been part of the team that has offered leadership when we are in Inari. Asante sana. I want to thank the ministers who have been with us, most especially Honorable Eri Tumwine, because the others are ministers, but they are members of the Central Executive Committee. Asante sana. Your Excellency, we had papers, presentations about ideology by the team in Inari, and they also brought in facilitators from outside, especially in the area of ideology and security. But we also had, under your guidance, papers to do with the socio-economic transformation. How do we transform the Ugandans, the 68%, from subsistence farming or working for the stomach, like you always say, and to join the money economy? And we had papers mostly to do with agriculture, but in agriculture we looked at crop production, animal husbandry, but we left out the component of fisheries. Next time we promise, sir, we are going to make sure we bring also experts in that area so that that community from the fishing community, those in the fishing community and those near the wetlands can also utilize that resource in a more meaningful and sustainable way to make sure they chase poverty out of their homes. Your Excellency, we also have had industrialization, ICT, and the service sector and public service. We concluded yesterday with your paper, and we are leaving this place. Even those of us who have been coming to Nali, since 1993, Your Excellency. Since 1993, that's when I was in Nali as a senior 6 vacist. But this one was a special one. The challenging issues to me as a leader, but also to colleagues, but also the solutions that were given were very special. I want to take this opportunity in a special way to thank the facilitators. Facilitators, wherever you are in this country. We didn't bring facilitators from outside Uganda. All were from here. And it is a manifestation. You may not see the results now, but you will see them beginning tomorrow, Your Excellency. It means we have capacity. We know what to do. Because if we are talking about these issues, we should be able to implement these issues. I want to, on behalf of the Secretariat, that we are not going to go out to mobilize politics only. We shall mobilize issues to do with the socio-economic transformation. But on a sad note, I want to inform Your Excellency that the person who you identified yourself, that you know, you can say, oye, oye, Uganda, oye, 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 but what message are you leaving? You identified Honorable Matthias Kasamba as somebody who has worked so hard in leading the community, especially around Kakuto, around Rakai, around the bigger Rakai or the greater Rakai, Masaka, in fighting poverty by promoting coffee production, right from making the nursery beds up to marketing. He has changed his community. Your Excellency, I want to inform you that he had gone beyond the coffee. He had taught his communities how to make wine out of jackfruits. And he was exporting wine himself to Tanzania. And he took the production unit to Kakuto in Rakai. He was also making wine from pineapples. And he was employing people. He had fish ponds. One time, when he was preparing to go and sell his fish, there was a big flood, and at night, people woke up in the morning, and there was fish in their compounds, at their doorsteps, in their gardens, and all of that he said, that God wanted me to share generously with the people. That's the person who have lost, Your Excellency. I want to request you, we stand up for a minute of silence to pay respect to Honorable Matthias Kasamba, our Director for Mobilization, card identification and placement, but also a member of the East African Legislative Assembly. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you. Resume your seats. Your Excellency, we have had committees. You advised us to put up a team. It was not only a team for politicians, but also scientists and people who have specialized in the different areas, especially where we needed to tap into that expertise to make this a success. Your Excellency, for finance and administration, this committee, we had finance, administration and welfare, Honorable Chatuheire Jacqueline as chair, the Deputy National Treasurer. Where are you? Nyamitumbi, where are you? Can we clap for Honorable Jacqueline Chatuheire? Hajat Nahamu Medina, a member, Director of Finance and Administration at the Secretariat. Mr. Kashamba Aaron, but he stayed behind to keep coordinating in Kampala. Major General Kasura Chomukama. And Colonel Dr. Chobe Henry, who is not here but has been working with us. Can we clap for him? Also had the Transport Committee, which was headed by Honorable Kasamba Matthias, working together with the Deputy Secretary General, Honorable Richard Todwong. Your Excellency, we had Health and Safety Committee, chaired by Honorable John Chijaji Arimpa, working together with Colonel Dr. Chobe Henry, Major Magoba David, also Dr. Kia, Dr. Mr. Gidi Sadala, Mr. Olo Yosia, Dr. Kajumbura, Dr. Joel Obong, and Dr. Luke, and all of the nurses who have been working with this team. We thank you so much. Your Excellency, we came in fearing, but they've challenged us. We are going out with no fears. Your Excellency, research and documentation was headed by Dr. Tango Doi as chairperson. Can you clap again? Honorable Dombo Lumala Emmanuel as a member. Honorable Matthias Kasamba. Honorable Charles Segwau, who is not here with us, is also in the hospital. Mr. Bagamba Syrian is a staff at the Secretariat, sir. Rapporteuring Committee, chaired by Mr. Othieno Toy, your son, Your Excellency, Darin Birungi, Annette Mukavera, Amriat Esther, and Farida Najuma. Your Excellency, the committee to do with accommodation, also chaired by Honorable Jacqueline Chatuheire, but working together with the Honorable Alisemera Jane, Major General Kasuracho Mukama, Major Dr. Magoba David, Major Rurekura David, then Miss Prosi Nagai. Media, Honorable Lumala Emmanuel Dombo, Mr. Doni Wanyama, Miss Linda Nabusai, Bwire Stephen. Can we clap for them? And Your Excellency, I want to take this opportunity, as somebody who worked with Mr. Don Wanyama last elections, want to thank you for giving him big task, big responsibility. Thank you, sir. Your Excellency, that was the organizing committee, but allow me in a special way, Your Excellency, thank the members of SEC who have been with us here, also by requesting them to stand up and you see them, and the members see them before we leave tomorrow. We have Honorable Dr. Chris Variomos, Vice Chairperson, Western Uganda. We have Honorable Singh Katongole, Vice Chairperson in charge of Kampala. Honorable Chiwanda Godfrey has gone to Kampala to lead us as a team to organize and have a decent burial for our colleague, Honorable Matthias Kasamba. We have Honorable Lydia Wanyoto Mutende, the chairperson of the Women's League. apologies. We have, I don't follow the protocol well, sir. Right Honorable Jacob Olanya, the Vice Chairperson, Northern Uganda. Your Excellency, we have Honorable Jim Muhwezi, the Chairperson of the Veterans League. Your Excellency, we have Mr. Kato Gabriel Maguru, the Chairperson of the PWDs. Your Excellency, we have Mr. Tweheyo James, the Chairperson of the Workers' League. Your Excellency, we have Honorable Dr. Lukali, the Chairperson of the Entrepreneurship League. Your Excellency, we have Right Honorable Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, a member of the Central Executive Committee. Your Excellency, we have Honorable Hajat Ole Ruhuda, member of the Central Executive Committee. Your Excellency, we have the Chairperson of your league, Honorable Muzei Gidudu Mafabi Dominic, the Chairperson of the Elders League. Your Excellency, I cannot name everybody, but allow me to recognize a lady who went through elections, and she challenged men, and she has challenged them by doing her work so well. Nasi, the woman MP of Lamu, the chief and the chief moral booster. Your Excellency, she doesn't need a microphone. It's God given. Your Excellency, we have also members of the East African Legislative Assembly who are here. We have Honorable Mary Mujenyi, Rutamwewa. We have Honorable Paul Musamali. Where are you? We have Honorable Rosa Cole, lost a brother and went to attend burial, which is taking place today. Honorable Matthias Kasamba, who has left us. I don't see Honorable Namara. Honorable Namara Dennis. Your Excellency, we have Honorable Namara Dennis. And Your Excellency, also allow me, this time we have had a big component on issues to do with the preventive health, led by Mr. Bob Sebugwao. So I want to thank you members. I want to thank the facilitators. Your Excellency, for the East African Legislative Assembly, we also have Honorable George Odong, Honorable Rose Namayanja Nsereko, the National Treasurer, and Honorable Chiwanda Godfrey, the Vice Chairperson for Central, went to Kampala this morning to make sure they lead us to have very good and decent burial to our colleague Honorable Matthias Kasamba. But Your Excellency, I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the Secretariat, on behalf of the members of the East African Legislative Assembly, on behalf of the coffee growers, on behalf of those who make wine, on behalf of all people who have positive energy, like Honorable Matthias Kasamba, to thank you for according him official burial. The program will be out this evening and we shall inform you, but let's continue praying for him. Your Excellency, we remain indebted to you as a team. We remain indebted to you as Secretariat. You have accorded us time, you have shared the knowledge with us. When we go back to your constituency, the next 5 years, we promise we are going to work with everybody in the whole country. Whether NRM or opposition, poverty hurts everybody. whatever side you belong, poverty hurts. To make sure we fight and chase out poverty from the homes that are still harboring poverty, and make sure everybody wakes up with a smile. Under your leadership, sir, we are very ready to work. Allow me to take this opportunity, sir, to invite Right Honorable Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, the Prime Minister of Uganda, to come and share with us, but also we'll invite you to address us. Thank you so much.
Asante, Your Excellency President Yoweri Museveni and the First Lady and Honorable Janet Museveni, the Minister of Education, my brother and distinguished friend of ours, who is the Vice Chairman for Northern Uganda, Ndugu Chris, who is also Vice Chairman for Western, the Right Honorable Secretary General, SEC members, YARA members, and the newly elected members of Parliament. Your Excellency, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for initiating the idea of this retreat and for being the principal facilitator of this retreat. The retreat has been disciplined. Members have fully participated and attended meetings from the beginning to the end of the 3 weeks. I therefore want to salute Ndugu Kasula and his team for creating this good environment. And I also want to thank the Secretary General, our sister Justine Lumumba, and the Deputy Secretary General, Ndugu Richard Todong, for leading us very well through this retreat. I think this is an exemplary retreat, and the future retreats will learn a lot from this very one. Your Excellency, I also want to take this opportunity to salute Mrs. Janet Museveni. The very many years President Museveni has been engaged in many different struggles for freedom in Uganda, for transformation in Uganda. He has had a reliable supporter and partner in Janet Museveni. So I would like to salute you for support of our leader, and you have done exemplary work, and we know that you will continue. The victory of this retreat has had many contributions. Some of the people, in fact, most of the people have not been recognized. But all those who have not been recognized know that we appreciate your input and your contribution to the success of this retreat. It's my great pleasure, Mr. President, to request you to speak to the people who are gathered here and thank you and your wife for giving us a great lunch. Thank you.
Sit down, please. the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, Parliament, who is also NRM Vice Chairman for Northern Region, the Right Honorable Secretary General, Right Honorable Prime Minister first, the Vice Chairperson Western, Secretary General, members of SEC, members of IARA, all the NRM and all NRM, even the alleged independents, they are all NRM, I know them. First of all, this place where you are, I need to inform you how it came about. A few kilometers from here, or 1 kilometer, is where River Mayanja meets River Kafu, just near here. When we attacked Masindi on the 20th of February 1984, there was a detachment of Obote here, nearby here, a place called Bohanku. But our people came and passed nearby without disturbing that detachment and went. First crossed into, because they crossed into Chenkwanzi, where we are, and then crossed River Kafu again, entered Masindi, and then attacked Masindi on the 20th of February. That attack was led by Sare. Then I had remained behind about 30 miles from here at a place called Kanyara. The plan was, once the attack has happened, then I bring a big force to help carry the luggage that would have captured from Masindi. So on that morning of the 20th, we were monitoring Obote's radios. So about 8 a.m. in the morning, I got a message from Obote, not from Sare yet, that Masindi has been successfully attacked and overrun by the bandits. And the bandits were still in control of the barracks. That message was sent by somebody who had run from the barracks, and he had reported to Nakasongora. So I knew that the attack had succeeded, and we started preparing to bring the force to carry the luggage. So we came, and the very following morning, 21st, started moving. No, that same day, started moving, 20th. Then also crossed here, entered Chenkwanzi, which is on the other side. That is Chenkwanzi, this is Masindi here. They are all very near. And then met Sare's group somewhere there inside Chenkwanzi and carried the luggage, a lot of weapons, and came and camped here. So now when we camped here, the Obote group which was here tried to come and attack us, but we scattered it. So when we camped here, I liked the place. I said, after the war, we shall come and have something here. And after the war, I told these people, the government people, to buy this land, State House. So they bought it, and now we have your ranch here. It is 4 square miles of land. So it was really for historical reasons that we bought this ranch. Now, once we had bought it, those Banyankoro of yours have bad habits. They are fond of giving gifts. So they were giving me cows, many cows, 800 what. I said, I don't want to put your cows in my farm. I don't want anybody to say that I am rich because of you pharaohs. I never accept gifts from the public for myself. So I brought all the cows they were giving me, I put them here in your government farm. So I don't know who is the manager here? You are the manager. He's there. Yeah. How many cows do you have here now? Got the microphone. Or you have eaten them?
$809, Your Excellency, after selling.
800.
9.
809. 809. Okay. So these cows here, they are mainly gifts I get from the public. I bring them here, then I give them out. I give them out to groups, women, what. The other time I gave to the elders in Agago, I gave them cows, the elders in different places. Amos got the cows, your people got the cows. Yes. And one time, there's another home of yours, the State House home, government home. When we were fighting coin, I wanted to go and camp in Bariregi. You must have heard of Bariregi. I am represented by the MP, the rich man. You remember the other rich man? The big rich man. That one there. And the Kasumoro girl was just thrown out a bad woman. Nyara Kwene. Where is the Sumoro girl? The one from Okwang. She's down there. Apoyo teach. So I said to go and camp there and fight coin. But the place was full of tsetse flies. You could not get out of the tent. If you get out of the tent, the tsetse flies would bite you. So I got some cows from here, took them to Bariregi, applied that chemical they were talking about, the acaricide. There's an acaricide called deltamethrin or Dicatex. If you apply it on cows and you let them move, all the tsetse flies which try to bite will die. So I got cows from here and I took them and sprayed them and then released them. The second day, the tsetse flies were less. Third day, they were even less. By the fifth day, they were all finished. And those cows are still there. Some of the cows are still there in Bariregi. They are also there. So that is the history of this place. Now, when we started coming to Chankwanzi, then I remembered that this place is not very far from Chankwanzi. So I told our people to say, okay, let's go to Chankwanzi and we roast bull. That time it was very interesting. Now it's a bit down now, because that time we had no road from Chenkwanzi to the river, so we had to walk. Then there was no bridge on the river. We had to go in canoes. Now there's a bridge, there's a road. It's a bit dark. It's no longer very interesting. But when you were coming here, I remembered that I had given Professor Kahwa, because when Professor Kahwa came with her project, I said she wanted cows to try her vaccine on. I said, don't worry, I have got cows and I have got a place. So how much land did you give Kahwa, manager? How many acres? How many cows and how many acres?
So we haven't given her acres, rather animals. We gave her land equivalent to 300 acres.
300 acres?
Yes, sir.
And the cows were from where?
We haven't given them to her.
Professor Cow, you don't have cows here? Professor Cow, come. What's the problem? Oh, don't run, don't run. You just come slowly. Go and sit down, you man. You don't have cows for...
Not yet, Your Excellency.
How many do you need?
We need 300.
300?
Yes.
For trial?
Yes.
But 300 needs more land than
what you have given us.
300.
But we can start with 100.
Okay, 300 can fit in 300 acres.
Yes.
That's the proper ratio.
Yeah.
No, Nachobe, I give 100 to Kawa now. From here. So the other man of 800, deduct 100 to give it to her. Thank you very much. So when we were coming here, I knew that Dr. Kahwa has her project here. I said, no, you come and talk to these MPs so that you hear, so that they hear. Of course, we get a lot of delays by this parliament, the other parliament, whatever they call it. What is it, 10, 20th or what? That one. That one has been delaying. You see, sometimes I'm polite, because I really don't want to create political problems for people who belong to the same party as myself. So that's why I don't talk so much. But this must stop. Everybody must do his work. I am here in two capacities. An elected president of Uganda repeatedly. But also the leader of the resistance movement. So I really want no more games. We have the capacity to say no to everybody. And when we say no, we mean no. So therefore, Kahwa's project has been going on. I am begging as if I want people to build my house. begging for Kahawa's project to make a vaccine which will stop your cows from dying from ticks. I shouldn't speak about this for 2 weeks, begging, writing, lobbying. I'm now a lobbyist. I will no longer lobby. I will use my authority to say no, finished. And when I say no, it will be no. You better know that. The other day, I had the Western group mourning about Nyaruzinga banana project. You don't know how much trouble they have given to that Dr. Muranga. This science is first class. It will make Uganda a very rich country. These vaccines, if we start producing them, we shall solve the problems of Uganda, but also get a lot of money from other people. But people delay this, and I need to beg this one. Finished. That game is finished. Nyaruzinga, the banana project of Dr. Muranga, that poor woman, it's almost 20 years now. We have been begging. The Committee of Parliament has said no. This one has said what? Oh, we must get all the money we need for Nyaruzinga. We must get all the money we need. If we don't get that money, there will be trouble in this coming Kisanja. We must get money for Kawa. That's why I told her, you come and talk to these people. When I knew that you were coming, I said, please, Kawa, you happen to be near, you come and talk to them. So that they hear your project. So that's why, that is the background of the place, and that's how I invited. Because now, how much money do you need, Kawa? Come and tell us. Don't run. These are your children. Don't run before children. And the world, they have been trying to take away this project. Other people want to take away the project. Even the banana project, they wanted to take it away. So we cannot have leaders who don't know what they are doing. It's not acceptable. How much money do you need?
22 billion.
Yes. To build the big plant or the small one?
A big plant.
The one which can produce 15?
Within the next 5 years.
Okay. So please, now they are all here, they have heard you. At least some of the ones are here, the other ones are in Parliament. So that is the history of this place. Now, our retreat, we have discussed, and I have told you exactly what I think. And I have showed you what we have done, what has succeeded. I brought Nyakana to you, you heard him. I brought these cattle corridor people, you heard them, you have seen them, you have driven from Chenkwanzi up to here, you have seen these people. It's a bush, but the people here are richer than the people in the towns. As you could see with your own eyes, you could see the cows, you could see the houses. And yet they are still developing because they are still using free range. What I will guide them to do hereafter is to make them go to industrial farming where they can grow pasture instead of just depending on free range, which is what they are doing now. But even with the free range, you see how much they have. They have changed. So therefore, now, top on the list, I can see a number of points I have noted here. Number one is socio-economic transformation. You must change your areas, please. Each one must help me change your respective areas. Socio-economic transformation. The peasants must disappear. Not by killing them. But my making, because you remember the other man, the one who was speaking to you yesterday, the one who said he has now got 5 graduates in his home. He himself is a peasant, but he's the last peasant because the ones after him are no longer peasants. They are intellectuals. In my family, the last peasant was Amos Kaguta and his 2 wives. After that, no more peasants. They are finished. So we want to end the peasants. The ones who are there now should be the last. We should not have peasants producing other peasants. That's why I had a problem with the Mtoro man, the one who was talking of Koko Torotora. This chicken which go eating worms in the compound. I say you cannot talk about that. You cannot talk about, because that means you are perpetuating peasantry. The peasants must end in your area. That's what happened in Europe. I told you about the French Revolution. 200 years ago, there were peasants in Europe. They are no longer there. You now have the middle class and the skilled working class. So therefore, number 1, under socio-economic transformation, there must be no more korera ekida kyonka. Teach, mecham, keken must end. But with the Chivaro, because there is a lot of confusion on this, and I will come to that later. Teach, mecham, plus sente with chura. That's what we must insist on. This is in agriculture. But also, there are the other 3 sectors. Industry, services, ICT. So this is point number 1, the conclusion of our retreat. And I'm glad you have captured it in your resolutions. I'm very glad about that. Secondly, in order to do this, you need peace in the country. And in order to do that, you must be very, very firm against the troublemakers. These ones who want to promote demonstrations, want to promote, you should mobilize very strongly against them, strongly and logically against them, so that they don't disturb our, because the people in Kampala, those Bayai people in Kampala, they have problems. They have socio-economic problems. It is true, partly because of the negligence of our people in the town who were there. They were not attending to them. But still, some of the people in the countryside are doing well. So, because you are doing badly, you cannot cause confusion so that even the one who is doing well joins you. It's better you consolidate what is good, but you also improve what needs to be improved. So that's number 2. Number 1, socio-economic transformation with the different efforts under it. Secondly, to ensure peace. But number 3, you need physical economic infrastructure. That's what we are talking about. The roads, the railway, the electricity. Now, I don't know whether you noticed when you were coming here, the shame. I don't know whether you saw those lines which they are bringing here. You must, when you are going back, you look at them. The poles are very small. Very small. So, Prime Minister, we must do something about this Ministry of Energy. The RIA, whatever they call them. I don't know whether you saw those poles. They are just like this microphone here. Why can't these people get proper poles? The ones of proper width. Irene, when you were in that sector, what was the problem, Irene? Come and tell us. Don't the poles have a minimum width? You tell us, as a free consultant, no pay. Don't the poles have a minimum width?
Your Excellency, the poles for electricity distribution and transmission have specifications. They have width and the height.
So what is the width? Do you think those meet the width, the ones you saw when you were coming here?
Your Excellency, I was not very attentive, but as we go back, I'm going to check.
All of you, please, as witnesses, you see for me.
It's a pity if they're using smaller.
And I would like my staff to take picture. Take picture when you are going back. Please make sure you take picture of those poles. I had seen them in Madiokoro. Once I was campaigning in a by-election in Madiokoro. And I saw those poles there. But why can't you get...
But yes, they shouldn't be accepted. You see, if the person, the contractor who has been given a contract and they use poles which are not of the standards that are specified, they should not be accepted.
Now, a man was mistreating his wife. Then one day, when one of the relatives had visited them, the man beat the wife. So the wife said, you see, my friend, that's what I've been telling you. Now I want you to see those poles, and all of you, and see these poles. Are these the poles really that should be?
Yes, Your Excellency.
When you are going back, we are going back before dark, I'm sure you will see them.
We shall be attentive.
Thank you.
But the contractors, if they have used substandard poles, they should not be accepted, they should not be paid.
But it is the corruption. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency.
So, number one, socio-economic transformation. Number two, peace. Number three, infrastructure, meaning the roads, the electricity, the railway, the waterworks, the telephones. Number four, once our people wake up, they all go or cholera the stomach and the pocket. Then the production will be so much, we have the issue of the market. The market. And please, be careful. Don't talk about things aimlessly. Because sometimes you hear people saying bottom-up approach, that the bottom will tell the top what to do. Okay, the bottom may be there. But the bottom doesn't know what is happening in the atmosphere. So, when people say, these people want to do this, want to do this, they don't know. So you people who know, because we have talked about it, don't allow your people, or don't encourage your people to produce something of which you are not sure about the national demand, regional demand, and international demand. Don't encourage them. Because whatever you encourage, make sure there is a big internal demand in the country, maybe also regional demand, maybe also international demand. For instance, yesterday, one of the people who was speaking there in Kienkwanzi was talking of sugarcane, avocado. You remember the other Rutamaguzi boy that he has got some money from sugarcane, some good money. But first of all, for him, he was using 10 acres. And you remember, our customers, our clients, the ones we are struggling for, are the ones of 2 acres. You remember? Because this is the problem. In West Nile, it is 2 acres. In Bugisu, it is 2 acres. In Busoga, it is 2 acres. In Kigezi, it is even less. So we are talking about the 2 acres people, not 10 acres. 10 acres, that's already extensive. You remember, intensive versus extensive. And then secondly, the sugar cane he was talking about is not for sugar. It is just for chewing. For chewing, you chewing and you spit on the road there. Because in the Chenkwas area, there are no sugar cane. There's nobody growing sugar cane. So, because people who are buying for chewing, they give him a little bit of money. He gets he said 4 million per acre in a year because of chewing. Because they are in an isolated place, where there is no sugar cane. And as you know, sugar cane is an energy food. Even in Ixoro, because they climb mountains, you normally found them with the stems of sugar cane. They go chewing to get energy as they are climbing mountains. So that is limited demand but limited. So, but you cannot plan for it for a zone. You cannot. You should, yes, they can take advantage of it as long as it is there, but please don't over promote it, because if people come in many, then you will have nowhere to sell what you are producing. Then there was also Mr. Mnyawera, the big man, the elderly man, the one who's getting quite a bit of money from beef. But again, beef is an extensive product. I produce cows for beef myself in Ixozi. But I don't encourage those people to copy my example, because for them they have got small pieces of land. And then the international demand of beef is not the same as milk. Milk has got more demand than beef. Beef used to have a lot of money. In the 1950s, when we were in the school system, one of the richest countries in the world was Argentina. Argentina was number 10 in the world in terms of wealth. And the reason it was rich was because of beef. Also, Australia was rich because of beef. But the problem came when the European Union formed a cartel and started subsidizing beef produced in Europe. And they shut out the beef of Argentina, shut out the beef of Australia. That's when the beef collapsed in terms of international demand. So it is there. You can have it for internal, for regional, Congo and so on, but internationally, milk will be is safer. So therefore, be very careful when you are promoting anything to your people. You need to be sure about the market. Don't make your people collide and go in something which is not viable. When I was meeting the Western region people, they talked of vanilla, the man from Bunduwijo. And I said, please be careful about that vanilla. Check the market, the global market. Now, the other day, I asked my staff to check the market of avocado. You remember we were talking about our avocado. It seems the demand of avocado is growing, because from the figure they gave me, I think it has now reached 6 billion or something like that. $6 billion globally. It seems to be growing. So you should study more about that. So number 5, you need the human resource, education and health. And that's why I'm very happy with your resolution when you have now joined me in fighting for free education. Thank you so much. Because if we really fight, because you see what is causing problems are people who are looking for their own interests, and they don't care about other people. These headmasters and the local elite, they want to get money from the parents. They want to get money from the parents. They are local traders who want to get money from selling kaunga and all that to the schools. They don't care about whether the children go to school or not. But when these children drop out of school, that's how eventually they build up a group like this NUP. This NUP are mainly children who were discarded by society. And this is because of these mistakes. So I welcome you that you have now taken a stand, formally, all of you, on the issue of free education. We should not tolerate anybody who does not support free education in the government schools. If you want to pay, the private schools are there, you go and pay. But please, for government schools, no pay. Let the children study free. Whether they are efficient or not efficient, at least let them study. You will have helped us. Then number 6, stability. We need stability. Stability, you remember in my speech, the other speech, I talked of the 6 issues. One of them was free education, but there was also the evictions from land. You fight this in your area, because there's nothing that will happen which you don't know in your constituency. I am here. I can support you. There was, in Uganda here, there was this woman of Mitiana, Nabakova. That girl was fighting land evictions. And her work was very much appreciated. They cheated her votes. We know how they cheated her votes because our system also was very lax. But she was doing a very good job, and she's very much appreciated. So politically, where you are, if you stand, not cheap popularity, because that was my problem with Nantaba. Nantaba was fighting for the landless, but she also added on cheap popularity. Even the ones who were telling lies, she would support them. No, don't support people who are telling lies. Only support the genuine people. So, if you support those mass issues, we are going to, you will be all right politically, but the NRM also will gain in terms of reputation. We are going to discuss in the caucus the issue of visiting, of being Christopher Columbus's. No, it was not. Christopher Columbus had a destination. There was a Magellan who went around the world. So we are going to discuss in the caucus the issue of Ferdinand Magellan, to go around the world, circumnavigate the world. We shall discuss it when we are not drunk, when we are sober, and we shall see the way forward. Now, finally, tie peko matidi, tie peko matidi. These people don't know our language, so we have left them out. Those who know the language, you know what to do. No, we should talk about that. The tie teko matidi pe lotino duchu somebody would handle that issue. Those who know the language translate for the others. Apar Ario. Apoyo Matek.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Now, before you go, the manager, those cows of yours, where are they? Where are the cows? Near the bridge. Huh?
Your Excellency.
Gamu here we not come bridge. Hari. They are not near here. Oh, this man has kept the cows away so that we don't see them. Never mind. We shall see them next time. Apoyo Matek.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Can we officially appreciate the message that has been delivered so well and the meal with a full-fledged clap? Asante sana. Thank you. Before we sing the anthems, please make sure if we are going back, you bought the bus that brought you. And once we are back at Nali, don't go to your dormitories. We have some few communications about tomorrow to pass on to you. And thank you so much, and thank you so much, Your Excellency.
What? Hello. What I talked to my people in our language, which some of you have refused to learn. There are people who know something about it. There are some people, they will communicate with the Secretariat.
Can we sing, organize ourselves? Thank you. Thank you so much, Your Excellency and the First Lady.
Correction. Correction, Chura, Tie.
Makwela munada. Oh, yeah. Nari no le marmegan. Okachalali